Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is the recording for this subject, public speaking, AAD3193. So now we are moving to topic number 7, and you can refer to chapter 11 in Lucas' book, The Art of Public Speaking. And the title for this recording is Outlining the Speech. So for the whole chapter, I hope you can refer to what Lucas had shared with us, right, in his book from page 196 until page 211. So these are the objectives of the chapter. After reading this chapter, you should be able to, number 1, explain why is it important to outline our speeches. Number 2, you should be able to explain the differences between a preparation outline and a speaking outline. Number 3, you should be able to construct a preparation outline following the guidelines presented in the book. And number 4, you should be able to construct a speaking outline following the guidelines presented in Lucas' book. So as what we have learned from the previous lecture, we know that in a speech we have introduction and we have conclusion or closing. So now we need to know how to make sure that the introduction, the contents, and then the conclusion could be outlined before we start our speech. So this is a matter of doing preparation to make sure that our speech later will be a smooth one, will be a good one, will follow the objectives of our speech, and we hope that through this particular outlining process, the aims of the speech and also the needs of the listeners or the spectators could be met. So in Islam, preparation is so important. As been said by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one of his hadith, prepare for your hereafter needs as though you will die tomorrow, and prepare for your worldly needs as though you will live forever. So I do hope that before you start delivering your speech, make sure that you have this process of outlining so that it will assist us from the very beginning until the end of our speech, and inshallah our speech will be a good one, will be a memorable one to the audience, and will be a benefit towards us as the public speaker and also towards the audience as our spectator. According to Lucas, in doing or in having a speech outline, there are 2 types of outlines. Number 1 is speaking outline, and number 2 is preparation outline. So there are several differences between these 2 outlines. So let us go to the first category of speech outline, which is speech outline or speaking outline. So outlines are so important to effective speeches. An outline assists a speaker see the full scope and content of the speech at a glance. An outline helps a speaker judge whether each part of the speech is fully developed. And an outline helps create a coherent structure for the speech. So here there are several essential things related to speech outline. Outline will assist us to see the whole picture of our speech later, and then the contents that we want to put in our whole speech. And then outline will assist us to make sure which part is still not been developed well and which part has been developed good. So we need to make sure that we can pull out the discrepancies or the weaknesses in any parts of our speech by having this outline, which we call as speech outline. And then it will assist us in terms of having a coherent, a beautiful structure for our speech. It means that we want to highlight which part to be the first part of our speech, which part to be the next one, and then before the closing, which part could be maybe the concluding remarks for the whole speech. So in speech outline, we will get this. Next is called by Lucas as preparation outline. Preparation outline, okay, when we talk about preparation outline, it is a vital step in putting a speech together. We have a lot of information, we have a lot of maybe topics and subtopics. So now, by having preparation outline, it helps us to putting all of the contents together. A preparation outline is a detailed outline used to plan a speech. So the process of writing a preparation outline requires that a speaker bring together the major elements of the speech. For example, when you've been invited to deliver a speech to a group of school students. So before you go and deliver your speech, you might need to have a preparation outline which help you to make sure which parts that you need to put as the first part, the next part, and the consecutive parts. So it is a kind of detailed outline for you to plan your speech. Maybe you want to deliver the definitions and concepts of motivation first, the theoretical part. So in your preparation outline, you outline that to be the first part. Next, you go to the steps on how to write effective notes. So the detail of writing effective notes will be the second part in your preparation outline. And maybe you want to close your speech by having some tips on how to manage studying time. So that will be the detailed outline of strategy to time management. So this is what we call as you bring together all the major elements in your speech, but you have it in an outline so that you know which part to start and stress first, which will be the next consecutive parts after the first part. So in preparation outline, it will picturize the whole picture of your speech later. So these are 8 guidelines for effective preparation outline. So according to Lucas, the first guideline is the preparation outline should include the speaker's specific purpose statement. As we have learned in our previous chapters, we need to have purpose statement because it will be the major guideline for us in our speech, so that we are not delivering things which is out of context. We can focus everything towards the purpose statement, so that the focus of each of our statements will be based on the purpose statement, the specific purpose statement. For instance, just now, maybe we've been invited to deliver a motivational talk, okay, to a group of school students. So we need to put the specific purpose statement in the preparation outline. For example, the speech will be about the guidance of how students can study using an effective timetable, and also to manage their time while studying. So this might be the specific purpose statement of our speech. Number 2, the preparation outline should include the speaker's central idea. So we are talking about motivation among the students. So the central idea might be those that I gave just now, those that I mentioned just now, okay, about maybe time management, and also some tips on how the students can build up their motivation to study. So these are among the central ideas. And then the third guideline is the preparation outline should clearly label the introduction, the body, and also the conclusion of the speech, so that we know this is the part where we need to introduce the speech, and then the body and the subsequent ideas that we have in our speech, and then we end up with conclusion. So we need to label these 3 main items of our speech. Number 4, the preparation outline should have a consistent pattern of symbolization and indentation, so that we will not be confused with different kind of symbol. Okay, maybe we put a triangle to show that this subtopic will follow with a physical activity. Maybe circle, this subtopic needs the audience to give reflection. Or rectangle symbol might be a place where we need to share videos to strengthen our ideas in several parts of our speech. So this is what we call as the preparation outline should have a consistent pattern of symbolization and also indentation, so that we are not being confused at which part we need to do what. And then the 5th guideline is the preparation outline should state main points and sub-points in full sentences. Some of good speakers, they won't do this, but this is so important in terms of we don't want to maybe miss any important main points and its sub-points in any parts of our speech. So we need to make sure that in preparation outline, the main points are written in full sentences, and also the sub-points in full sentences as well. Number 6, the preparation outline should label transitions, internal summaries, and internal previews. So when we have this label, we know at which part or which point of our speech we can do the transition from maybe fact number 1 to fact number 2, or premise number 1 to premise number 2, or the main point number 1 to main point number 2. Internal summaries, okay, maybe after we have done an explanation of a sub point, so we do some internal summaries after that, and then when we have the transition to the next main points or to the next sub points, we do some previews or internal previews about the new point. For example, maybe in delivering the points of time management, we want to start with the first point that in time management, first we need to make sure that we take a good care of our time management to do ibadah, to take a good care of our relationship with Allah, with the God. And then we have our elaborations and so on. So right after the elaboration, we want to transit to the next, or we want to change to the next main points or sub points. So we need to have an internal summaries of the first point first, and then after the transition, we do the internal previews for the next sub points. Okay, maybe next we say that we need to make sure that we wake up early, and then we make sure that we have a good note-taking process and so on. So these are what we call as the main points, and we need to label transitions from one point to another point to another point, and also the internal summaries and also internal previews of each of the points. Next is number 7. The preparation outline should include a bibliography or list of references, because we need to make sure that we are credible enough in delivering our points by having the evidence of bibliography or references. Okay, so it's easy for us to justify anything that we delivered, because we referred our speech we refer our speech to whatever had been stated by any other scholars or academics or whoever that we make as a reference. And the last one is number 8. The preparation outline may also include a title for our speech. Next is about speaking outline. So once the preparation outline is completed, a speaking outline can be drawn up. A speaking outline is a brief outline used to deliver a speech. The primary purpose of a speaking outline is to help us as a speaker in remembering what we want to say in our speech. It's a kind of flashcard, okay, that we have in our hand, or that we have on the rostrum. So this outline is actually a brief one that helps us to maybe have a sight. Okay, from time to time we can have a look into the paper, and then we can get back whatever we had missed maybe, or what we want to do next. So in speaking outline, it includes keywords and phrases from the preparation outline. Speaking outline includes essential statistics and quotations the speaker does not want to forget. Maybe you as a public speaker, you have your tools like that you display from your LCD maybe, okay, that the audience can view, but in the same time you include in your speaking outline some essential statistics, facts or quotations that you don't want to miss, that will bring the power, the oomph towards your contents. And then in speaking outline, It includes cues to direct and sharpen a speaker's delivery. Speaking outlines are especially effective for extemporaneous speeches and also for impromptu speeches as well. Okay, because whether you have been invited to deliver a speech impromptu, maybe you have a little time to outline a little bit on what you want to say in your speech. But most of the time, speaking outline is actually effective for extemporaneous speeches. Lucas had shared with us 4 guidelines. 4 guidelines for effective speaking outline. Number 1, the speaking outline should follow the same visual framework used in the preparation outline. So it not going to be a contradict to each other. Okay, so it will follow the same flow in terms of the contents, in terms of the arrangement. Okay, which part need to be delivered as the first part or the first point, and then second point, third point, and so on. Number 2, the speaking outline should be plainly legible. Number 3, the speaking outline should be as brief as possible. And number 4, the speaking outline should include cues for delivering the speech. Okay, cues in terms of the transition, at which part that we need to now know that we need to change our focus to another point. And after that, after we have done our internal summaries and so on, we want to move to another point. So we need to make sure that in the speaking outline, it includes cues. And it is as brief as possible. And should plainly legible, so that we can deliver our speech with a good speaking outline. Okay, next is related to the conception of visual framework in outline. In any outline of speakers, okay, we always, or some of us, we always have symbolization and also indentation in order to show relationships among ideas. Symbolization and indentation is a process of putting marks at which part you want to deliver our main points and its subsequent points. And then at which part we want to know that we need to do the transition to the next main points and its subsequent points. So symbolization and also indentation, showing the relationships among the different ideas that we have in our public speaking session. As what have been mentioned in the previous slides, okay, this symbolization and also indentation need to be a standard ones. If we are using triangle to show the transition from point to point, so we use triangle as a symbol for transition of points. If we use circle symbol to show that we want to put in physical activities after a point, or we want to have a process of Q&A with our audience, so make sure that we put circle symbol in several parts of our outlining process, so that we understand that's the place where we need to open the session for question and answer between you and also your audience. So this is the example of visual framework outline. We have our symbolization here differently. Okay, number 1, we are using numbering. We're using Roman numbering and also letters there. And then we have indentation, okay, of main point. And then sub point, we have one indent. Sub to the sub point B, we have another indent. And sub to the sub point 2, for sub point B, we have another indent as well. So when we have this kind of visual framework outline, it will guide us to know that which of these are the main points, which of these are the sub points, and which of these are the sub to the sub point. So we can deliver our speech timely. We can divide the time for each of the main point correctly, justly, so that the presentation will be so smooth, and we could manage the time of our presentation effectively. So by having that, I would like to conclude that it is so essential for a public speaker to have an outlining process before he or she starts his session, because outlining is a powerful tool to assist a public speaker to deliver his speech effectively and efficiently, and all the messages that he or she desired to be shared with the audience could be delivered or could be conveyed timely. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.